Hello everyone, welcome to day three, and today we are going to discuss about the meeting explanation, basically how we are implementing those things in our project. Okay, so talking about yesterday what we discussed. Yesterday we discussed, okay, so what our project will contain from. Okay, so for example, what is Agentic AI means? We discussed about MCP. What is MCP? We also discussed about strands. We also discussed about KO. And if someone don't know about KO, so they can watch my previous playlists. That AI projects which we have built it. Okay, so you can just see. Basically, KO and cursor is the same of the thing. It is similar, means like uh, 70 to 80% it's same. Okay, so you will not hallucinate while understanding this. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to discuss like how can we implement this. Okay, this MCP, these strands, okay, all these things, how can we implement this inside our project. Okay, so here you can see here what's our agent purpose. If you have been following my series, for this you would understand that what is SLA Guardian, what is auto time tracker, time enricher, these all things we talked about yesterday. Okay, SLA Guardian is basically it will just monitor the SLA tickets and with the help of agents of AI. Okay, so you can see here what it should do. It should predict the SLA risk. It will predict before tickets will breach, before that itself, it will predict it, the SLA risks. Okay, auto track technician time means the time taken by technician to solve this particular issues, and it will also suggest fixes. Okay, and how it will suggest using sorry, it will suggest using KB, parse data, and safe playbooks. Okay, now the step two means the tools and applications which we need it to install it. Okay, you can see here Python version again. If it's our 3.10, uh, it can work. Okay, and the purpose means like you always know what the meaning of why do we need Python for this, right? And also we need to install. These are all the address from where we can install it. Okay, so you can install it from Python organization. I I hope most of you who are watching these videos must have Python installed in it, right? So you can install it VS Code or either KOID. So it's better use KOID for that because uh, KO for AWS advantagements, like it helps us to just blend our editor, means like for connection it's much easier when we are using KOID. Okay, and now with the Strands SDK basically software development kit. Okay, to create your agent logic. Okay, for creating our agent logic, how our agent should work and how it shouldn't work. So basically all these things, all these logics. Okay, how it will be created, it will be created by Strands SDK. Now again we need fast API for backend and Flask. We can use Flask API or Fast API or Flask as well for the backend. So we will be using Fast API here, okay, to run the API endpoints, to connect the API endpoints. And how can we just get it? You have to write here there just pip install Fast API UVcorn. Okay, and for the management of databases. Okay, so for example, you are showing some tickets, some logs is there. Okay, SLA data and all these stuffs are there. So where you will be storing those, right? So for that we need one database. Either we will be using PostgreSQL or SQLite. And now the next part, it's MCP SDK. MCP. Uh, I've told you yesterday we have discussed what is basically is MCP and SDK. SDK software development kit. So it's a software development kit to connect your agent to APIs like super. Means like it works. What is MCP? It works connecting our agents to the super ops. And how do we download this? Just you have to write here pip install model context protocol and various things are there. So yes, now. AWS Bedrock. AWS Bedrock means to use Anthropic, Mystrial, or Amazon LLM. Okay, Amazon. These all things we can use it, and it will be accessible via AWS account. Okay, so generally AWS charges for such. Okay, I will just go through it, look into it. That for this particular project, whether there is any charge or not, or we can just perform it without minimal charge or free. Okay. Now, SuperOps API keys. What is SuperOps API keys? To fetch the real ticket or SLA data, the real time ticket, the real ticket it will fetch it. The SuperOps API keys. Okay. So we need this SuperOps API keys. Get from your Hackathon account dashboard. And how can we get this? We can get from your My Hackathon account on the dashboard itself. It's there. Now, just coming forward for the architecture, how our architecture will look like. Imagine your system is like this. A technician creates or updates a ticket. My agent will watch it. It will predict the SLA breach. Okay, what all limitations or what all circumstances it might face in future. So SLA will breach that. It will log time and it will also put some suggestion how to fix it. Right. And now how our each part means like project will consist of various parts. Various parts is there, and for that we need our project to just work well, right? So front end UI, front end UI, why it is used? It is generally used for dashboard, React, or QO preview, so to show tickets and suggestions. This front end you can see here, the front end which is now shown here itself. If I will just go here, okay. Front end, yeah. Front end, it's for the dashboard thing, means like you need visualization or any type of thing. Right, visualization means to show the ticket and all those things we need. We need an user interface for such. So we will be using React or KOID preview can work as well. And next, its agent layer strand, the brain, it decides this agent layer itself, the strands, how we are, why we are using the strands. We have discussed yesterday itself about this thing, and we have also discussed what is meant by layers, why we are applying layers, means like this agent layer, these strands, what are these strands? So these strands decide the actions like SLA risk or recommended solution. So it is the brain of our project. Now it will be a data layer. A data layer again, it will be using we will be using PostgreSQL, and it will store the tickets, response time, and technician logs as well. Now MCP bridge, we will be creating one bridge here, and with that it will be connecting my agent to SuperOps API and knowledge base. My agent, or how it will get the knowledge from, right, from where it will get the knowledge. So it will get the knowledge from SuperOps API, and knowledge databases are also there, from where there it can fetch it. Now at the last, the backend it will be the fast API, and it runs the whole system. Agents lives here. Similarly for the backend you need, if your program doesn't have a backend, for example your car is there, right? For your car to run, most importantly you need the engine for it. Okay, if engine works well, then a car can run. Okay, and if engines itself is not working properly, then obviously there is some serious issues. So your agent, all those functionality, those gear, and all those things. Okay, basically it lives there. Gear in the sense I was just talking about the car. It's not that here we will be using gear. So first in, just try to understand it, that whole agent will be managed through backend. Okay, the engine of our car, whole thing is managed through that itself, because it's the heart of a car. And if the heart stops inside the body, everything just stops, right? So just imagine this backend, this fast API will be the heart of your human body, of your project, and this agent layer is the brain of your. So you can see here how each and everything is needed for such. Okay, and this front end UI, this is for again your eyes is there. So Just understand it that these are your body parts, and when every body part is working good, then your body is working good, right? So just understand it like this. Now there are steps how to build it step by step. So I have to create an MCP server. Again, I have to make fast API like calculator example which I given yesterday. Okay, and each function tool or agent can use the SLA log check time. For example, you can see it from fast API import fast API. So this fast API is library. From this library, I am importing fast API, and this model context is also a library. And from this particular library, I am importing MCP server. Now, app is equal to fast API. I have created one variable here, name as fast API. This function will be there, and my server it will what where it will fetch from. It will fetch from the app. Okay. And these are basically my functions which I have created it. Now you can see here. Yeah, I will be returning those same. So you can see here this is nothing, but this is my function definition, and this you can call it my function call. Okay, so I hope you have understood the function call and functional definition. If you haven't, then you can go and check in my data science series with the caption as functions. There I've explained what do you mean by function definition and what do you mean by function call and where do we call it the function. And this is basically the return, the values which we are returning. Okay. Now the third thing is that we will be creating agent with strands. Okay, strands I've explained you yesterday. Okay, what is basically strands and why do we need to connect it with our agent? So, sorry, uh, it will connect all the agents will be connected through strands. So it's basically a communicator between the agents. So from strands, I will import agent, and here agent I am creating one variable. And similarly, like this, you can see here. This is a basic example, a basic code for that. We will not use this code itself in that. So it's the basic thing for you to understand it. Okay. So what will be the modified version of this? Now I will connect MCP plus strands. Use strands SDK to access MCP server tools automatically. So I will use strands SDK to access MCP servers, and my agent can also call the real APIs using unified syntax. Now I will use KOID to organize everything. I will open KO and I will just tell him to write requirement.txt and design.md as well and all these things I need for such. Now I will be adding some enhancement inside my project such as agent hooks, steering dogs, logs dashboard. It's like when a ticket updates, the agent auto checks SLA. It will auto checks it. So these are the hooks. These are the enhancements which I need to add it inside my project. Now the steering dogs force the AI to use your chosen frameworks like such as Fast API. Otherwise, it will be just depending upon any other framework. Now logs dashboard, it will tracks how many breaches we prevented, and it's great for judging means like which person is working good and all these things. Now the fifth step is the deployment stage where I will host my MCP server on AWS Lambda or EC2 engine. Okay, and I will connect it to the SuperOps API sandbox, and I will show the user interface to display the predictions, how it is predicting good. And what will be my additional insights? Some additional insights means like, and I will keep it in a modular approach. Modular approach means like for each thing, I will build one code for that. I will not use the object and class. Like object and class means for each SLA will be one class. SLA guardian will be one class. Time tracker will be one class. A class ticket enricher will be one class. And with this and within the help of inheritance, I will be joining such as so various things are there when we will use object-oriented programming. But here we will not using object-oriented programming. We will be going for a modular approach. And what is the difference between modular and object-oriented programming is for modular approach, what we are doing, we are breaking our code into simpler codes. Means like breaking our project into simple modules. Means I will be keeping SLA guardian dot py file for this time tracker different py file, for ticket enricher different py file will be there, and later I will be connecting all this. So it's a good approach as compared to object-oriented programming. Now focus on one MVP first. Okay. So I will be focused on one MVP. Either it will be SLA Guardian time tracker, then gradually I will move ahead. Now real-time analogy, how real-time it will help. Okay. So my system will be like a smart manager. The manager checks who's late. Okay. Who's late means my employee whoever failed to just check the SLA breaches and resolve the tickets. And now it will also fills missing timesheets, the time tracker, and also is give the suggestions. Okay. And now it's smart add-ons like Slack bot for alerts. These all things we can add on. And checklist for setup. It's like we have to check that whether our Python plus fast API strands installed or not. We will be using KOID for builder ID, MCP server working locally good or not, SuperOps API credentially ready, database connected, at least one working agent use case demo ready. So all these things will be there. Okay. So tomorrow we will be just diving more into this, that what will be the things. So till then, what you can do, uh, you can just rewatch this video because it's getting recorded, and you can watch as many times as you can. So till then, see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Take care.